When people are recording, they'll say they'll fix it in the mix. When people are mixing, they'll say they'll fix it in the master. I guess we can't say that we'll fix it in the radio because that doesn't work. Stem mastering is a way of mastering where you use the kind of component parts of a mix. Quite often in stereo mastering, I find you have to make compromises. So if you want the drums a bit brighter, but the vocal is already quite bright, then you kind of have to choose one or the other. From a creative standpoint, you want the mix to feel the same as it always has. You just want to make it feel that way for everyone who listens to it. The most important thing is people being able to give real-time feedback in their own space. LISTENTO gives us that option as if they were in the room. I'm just going to quickly run you through a session. So I'll start by just opening LISTENTO, giving it a name, which we've got from before, logging in, copying the link to be sent to whoever, and I start streaming. And now whoever has that link will hear exactly what I'm hearing. So then moving over into Pro Tools. So here are mix stems. So when I just play these back flat, they'll just sum together and create the stereo mix. So the first thing to do is just listen to it and just kind of get yourself in the zone of what they've created and why they've done certain things, and just trying to get a general overall impression of the track.
If you only believe, if you only believe.
And then through doing that, I'll just pick up a few things I want to look at. I feel like the bass needs to be a bit fuller. I feel like the synth stuff is a little bit in the background. First off, I'll work in the box in Pro Tools to kind of get those stems working together, and then we come out into the desk. In front of me, I just have my console with a couple of EQs, so Prism, MEA, which is like standard, clean, nice EQ. Something a bit dirtier, which is the Manly, massive passive. But this is the kind of main bit of Abbey Road mastering, particularly. It's the old TG console. So the desk used to be just a console straight through, start to finish. But what they've managed to do is break out all these modules into individual modules. So if I want to just use the EQ, I can just use the EQ, which is really incredible. Or I can not use any of it and just use the transformers in and out, which again, so if I just want it to sound like the desk without using any of the bits, then I don't have to. I can just make it sound like the desk, that's my favorite bit about this whole room, really. So in this track, for example, I can talk you through a few things I've done in the stems. So the tops of these drums were kind of stabby a little bit, so we've kind of done this little just high frequency compression just to bring those down a little bit. And what we're then doing afterwards is then bring it up again through the desk. This drum top end thing, I wouldn't just like go in and do that, because that's very presumptuous to, you know, that they've done their top end wrong on their drums. You know, that's quite a big thing to presume. So being able to use LISTENTO to play it, talk about it, and then decide, oh yeah, actually, if we soften them a bit here, brought them up here, then that would be a beneficial thing to the song. So being able to talk about that and being able to kind of use examples of, you know, I can load it up and I can start doing it and see if it's doing the right thing, and straight away we can decide there and then if it's doing the right thing. Cool, so to get into the desk, I've just got to patch it in. So now we just start introducing stuff. In this track, for example, as I was saying with the top end of the drums, so that was an MEA job. It's very clean and it just does what it says it does, and doesn't add any other stuff. It's a little top end boost, and that's it. I'll boost up and I'll just have a bit of a scan around and just find where I want to boost and make sure I'm getting the right bits that I want to be getting. And then, so once I've, found whatever bit I want, and then I'll just wind it in to whatever is appropriate. So then I'll also go through the transformers. That's kind of part of discussing with the artist. That is part of the aesthetic that they're looking for, and it's something that we did with their other tunes. So doing it again with this, it gives it all a bit of consistency. And then once we've got everything sounding how we want it, we just hit record on Sadie, hit play on Pro Tools, and now we're recording it through the desk, through all the gear, ready for release.